Lost my best friend over her trying to charge me insane rent. I, 32F, had a best friend, 32F, for 7 years. We met teaching English in Thailand and were roommates. I was even the maid of honor at her wedding. My friend, let's call her Sarah, is starting an Airbnb llama farm yoga retreat, and before I met my partner 2 years ago, had always said she would love for me to work with her. My partner and I had plans to get an RV and travel the USA as they work remotely, and I could get odd jobs / teach English online. Well, those plans ended up falling through, and I had the idea to call my friend up and see if she still wanted help on her farm. She was absolutely delighted and said multiple times how badly they needed the help. They were planning on building a 320 SQ foot container home to rent out as an Airbnb. I asked several times how much rent would be, and she said little to nothing, and that they needed help to get the place off the ground more than they needed rental revenue. She emphasized that they probably wouldn't be able to pay me a whole lot, but that practically free rent would be on the table. My partner was excited about this because they work a decent job that keeps us comfortably secure, not wealthy by any means, and was down to move to the farm for free living expenses so we could save a lot of their salary. We decided to go visit Sarah and her husband at their farm about a month and a half before we were supposed to move there. My partner had never met them. And also nail down rent / salary numbers. We stayed there for 4 days and everyone was getting along really well until the last day when they decided to present their offer. They were going to pay me $40K a year, take $10K of that as a housing stipend, which they could write off on taxes, leaving me with a $30K salary, and then on top of that charge me an additional $850 a month in rent plus utilities. They wanted me to do marketing, SEO work, write a blog a week, I'm an English major, and help on their farm, all for a $40K salary, and they would be taking $20K back for rent. Our total rent would be $1,650 a month for a 320 square foot container home in the middle of the country using satellite internet and no cell service, which is a sacrifice my partner was willing to make work, even though her entire career is online. My partner and I were completely taken aback by this offer and tried to explain how ridiculous this was, but they held firm and would not compromise. I even said I would be okay with a $40K salary, and they could still take the $10K out as a housing stipend, but I would not pay the additional $850 a month. I told them I could just go back to my teacher's salary at $48K a year, and we could move back to our apartment in a city at $1,500 a month. They wouldn't budge. The real rub to all of this is my friend's dad is a multi-millionaire and is funding their entire business. She doesn't even need the money. Needless to say, we aren't friends anymore, and now their container home will sit empty and unrented all winter. Anyway, that's all. Just wanted to vent.